Hey y'all, this is Lala at Lala Farm. Today we're going to be talking about goat feet. This is Pearl, and these are two of Pearl's kids. As you know, Pearl is Madeline's 4-H show goat. She won Grand Champion 2 years ago. We haven't shown her since then, but she's hanging out here with two of her kids. Pearl is also the mother of Magnus, who you all have seen. He's our bottle baby who thinks he runs the joint. Anyway, our conversation, or our video today is on feet, goat hooves. One of the things that we've run into here on Lala Farm is that because of our location, which is the extreme northeast of Florida, where the soil is, you know, pretty loamy and a lot of sand, a little bit of clay, not a whole lot of rocks, not a lot of hard ground, but one of the issues that we run into is because of our location, we get a lot of rain, especially in the wintertime. And for those of you who raise goats, those of you who don't, you may know as well, wet ground and goat hooves do not go well together. We have had extreme amounts of rain this year, in excess of what we typically get. So we've got several patches that are quite wet, and we're just not getting enough break from the rain for the sun to dry those patches out. Problem that we've run into with Pearl is that the actual wetness in the ground has actually caused some issues with her feet. As you know, Kikos tend to have, they're known for having better hoof quality, less trimming, better health type things. Well, Pearl is a Boer Kiko cross, so she's, I believe, 75% Boer and the rest of her is Kiko, but she did not get the quality hooves that would pass on from the Kiko. So she has to have her feet tended to a little bit more than the other goats on the farm do. One of the problems that we have here in Florida is that because of the softness of our soil, we don't have rocks and stones and all that for them to wear their hooves down on, or anything really firm like that out there for them in the pasture. We do have concrete in the barn, but that's just in the stall area in the center area where I feed them. They're not in here enough to actually get any benefit from being on the concrete as far as wearing down the hoof or anything like that goes. So the problem that we found with Pearl, I noticed several days ago that she was favoring her back right leg. And I was concerned. I thought maybe she had done some damage to her knee or something like that. So we brought her in. Well, when I checked her, I had gotten a little bit behind on doing hoof trimmings, which will happen sometimes, especially when you're in kidding season. You've got everything else going on around you. Sometimes things get pushed back a little bit. Well, as I said earlier, Pearl has to have her feet done a little bit more often than what the other goats on the farm do. So when I lifted her foot to check her, I noticed that her feet needed to be trimmed. But I also noticed in checking that one that she was favoring so much, that in between the toes of her hoof, where they spread apart, she's got like a cherry sized abscess in there, a sore, bright cherry red as well, really, really tender. It also has a really strong odor to it. So went ahead and trimmed her feet and everything, and I actually treated her with some hoof and heel to help with hoof rot and that type of thing, which is something that they can get from having so much moisture on their feet. That's just one of the things that can cause it. Treated it with that and trimmed the rest of her feet as well. Well, when I came out this morning, she's now favoring her front left foot as well as the rear right. So checked that, looked at it, because of course I had trimmed all of her hooves when we initially found that sore spot. And I'm not exactly sure what is causing the problem with the front right foot. I don't know if maybe the trimming just aggravated something in there, or if maybe the problem that she's having is spreading to another foot. Don't see any redness, don't see any sores or anything between the toes, but we're keeping a really close eye on it. One of the things we did for Pearl because of her situation. I don't want her on the wet, moist soil that we have here because of the situation she's having. I'm trying to keep it clean. I'm trying to keep it dry. So what I did is I moved her into one of our stalls inside of the barn. It does have a concrete floor. I moved her in here with her 2 kids that she's nursing. She's doing fine. She's getting up. She's letting them nurse. But most of the time she wants to lay down, get her weight off those feet. She weighs 91 pounds, so she's kind of heavy, and you know, having that on her feet hurts her. So she does lay down quite a bit, but she is getting up and letting the kids nurse, and that's one thing that we really have to pay close attention to. What I did is I did put a little bit of hay in here, only a little bit, for her and the babies to lay on, because I don't want to line the whole concrete floor with hay and then have her urinating on it and having to change it out constantly and stuff like that, because again, I'm trying to keep that foot dry. So I do have her in here on the bare concrete floor, except for that area that does have the hay in it. I did again treat her with hoof and heel again. There's a couple other things I can try before I have to call my vet out. I'm actually going to try a treatment with regular standard yellow Listerine, the mouthwash. That has been found to help with different types of sores and things that the goats will get. I've heard from several different people, if you try that on their hooves, that that can help with the issue if they have like yeast problems in their feet, or they got some type of abscess sore or something like that. So I'm going to try and put a little bit of that on her feet in between the toes, see if that helps any with that. Someone did suggest to me that I may want to go ahead and try and give her some antibiotics to treat any type of infection that's going on. She does not have a fever. Her FEMACHA looks good. She's eating, she's drinking, she does get up and walk around. So I don't want to just pump her with antibiotics. So I'm going to hold off on that, see if these other treatments help, see if keeping her on the dry concrete will help get that sore gone. It's not quite as red as it was the other day, so I'm hoping maybe we're making some progress. But we'll keep you posted on Pearl's condition. You know, a lot of times we show and we see on YouTube that, you know, you're showing the great aspects of farm life, the good stuff, showing all of the healthy goats out there playing and jumping around and having a good time, and this is what I do with my goats. My goats are so healthy, and we love to see that. We love to put that out there for people. But realistically, this is a farm, and this is farm life, and you're going to have situations where your goats get parasites. Your goats are going to get injuries. They're going to get some type of disease, and you're going to have to figure out a way to treat it. And we run into this several times a year. It's unavoidable. You get kids that get their head stuck in something, or you get a goat that likes to, you know, goats love to rub up against stuff, and they might catch themselves on a wire or something. Lots of different things happen. So we have to address them when they come along. That's why it's important to educate yourself. That's why it's important to have a good network. I've spoken in the past about having a mentor and how important they are. And there's several people that I call upon all the time and just say, you know, bounce things off from them and see what they think. But the thing to remember is things are going to happen, and you have to be prepared for those things. It's been a really hard kidding season for us this year. We've lost 5 of our kids that we've had born on the farm for different reasons. You know, we've had ones that we had lost 2 at birth, and we've lost 3 since then for different things. And that's hard to deal with. You know, you try and stay on top of things, and you try and give your animals the best life that you can. And the important thing to remember is that you tried your best, and you're doing the best you can. And that's the thing that you need to remember. At least that's what they keep telling me. So we'll keep you posted on Pearl's condition, let you know how she does. Check out some of these videos, and remember, always be kind to one another.